Hi, this is Jack of Etc. And today I'm going to demonstrate a little ankle mobility and a little bit of strengthening routine for you. Many of us suffer from tight or restricted ankles. It's an epidemic issue, really. And unfortunately, it has a knock-on effect. It doesn't just affect your ankles. It can cause knee pain, it can cause hip pain, particularly if you're running or trying to be active on really stiff ankles. One way to quickly test if your ankles may be a problem is to try and do a deep squat. And if you can't squat down quite low without your ankles coming up like this, it's a pretty good sign that your ankles are too tight. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to roll out our feet and our calves. So it's not just about working the ankle joint, because we also want to sort out the fascia and the muscles surrounding. So the bottom of the foot, best way to roll that out is with a golf ball. You can use different types of balls, but golf balls are quite nice and they're easy to get hold of and inexpensive. So I like to start this from a seated position and then just sort of put the ball on your foot and roll up and down across the length of it. You got to put a little muscle into it. It should hurt a little bit, but hopefully it will get better over time. And you want to roll slowly back and forth, making sure you cover the inside of the foot, the middle of the foot, and the outside of the foot. And you want to do that in both feet for approximately a minute or two on each foot. Then we want to roll out the calves as well, and these guys, foam rollers, are the best for that. You can also use a hard ball of some sort, but these are probably easier and they're good to have anyway. So we want to roll out the calf because if your calves are tight, it compresses the ankle. It's all tied in there, so tight calves can be the first sign of tight ankles. So I like to roll up and down across the whole length of the calf. I put my other leg on top of it for a little extra weight. If it's really painful, you don't have to. You can sort of just do it like that to start off with. But once that gets quite easy, then it's nice to put a little bit of extra weight into it. So again, I suggest about a minute or two on each calf. Okay, so then we want to do good old classic ankle circles. And now start these from a seated position, and imagine that you've got a marker tip on the edge of your toe, and you're trying to draw a circle either in the floor or an imaginary piece of paper up against your foot like that. And you just want to go around, really go as wide as you can, and in both directions. Sort of as smooth as you can as well. Again, for probably about a minute or two on each foot. If that starts to get quite easy, one thing to do is to actually do a little strengthening, to add a little load into it, and that's by standing and putting a little weight on it, on your ball of your foot. And then you can sort of circle the outside of the foot, sorry, the heel of the foot, I should say, to try and just put a little weight into it and get a range of motion with a bit of loading. Okay, we want to work on some plantar flexion as well. Plantar flexion is where your foot is basically pointed. This can be done sitting or standing. Standing is a bit more challenging, so you might want to start sitting, something like that, and just extend your foot out, point your foot, and just kind of ease your weight down into it. Try and get a really good stretch across it. You might not be able to do it too far initially, but work into it and give it time. If you want a bit more challenge, you can stand up and really push your weight into it down like that. That can get quite hard. And again, with all these things, I'd say a minute to 2 minutes on each foot should be sufficient, especially if you do them every day, which you should. So, next one, we want to do an extension and flexion of the foot and the toes as well. So, seated position, you're going to first point the toe, the foot, I should say, and then you kind of flex your toes and then extend your toes. And then you're going to point your foot to the ceiling, dorsiflexing it, and then again, the same thing, you're going to flex the toes and then extend the toes, and then point the foot, flex the toes, extend the toes, flex the toes, extend the toes, and so again, 1 or 2 minutes on each foot to do it. And then finally, One thing a lot of people do have suffered with is ankle sprains. I know I have, too many times to count. And most ankle sprains happen when you invert the foot like this. They're inversion sprains. So what we'd like to do is to build a little strength in that maximum range of motion, so that if you do happen to turn your ankle in, you'll have enough strength in the joint that hopefully it won't cause a sprain. Your body can handle it. So it's kind of a silly looking exercise, but what we like to do is actually just stand on the insides of our feet like that, or sorry, the outsides of our feet, and then just walk around a little bit. So we're just loading up the foot, the ankle, in this inverted position, which will help strengthen them and hopefully help reduce the risk of ankle sprains in the future. So yeah, try and do this every day if you've got problematic ankles. You can do this whole routine in 15 minutes or so, and your body will thank you for it. Thanks, see you next time.